Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Mason Mount returns to full training ahead of FA Cup final. Manchester United have received a major boost ahead of Saturday's FA Cup final, with midfielder Mason Mount returning to full training earlier. The England international has been sidelined since United's 4-0 defeat at Crystal Palace at the beginning of the month. He subsequently missed games against Arsenal, Newcastle United, and Brighton and Hove Albion. Despite an impending return to action, Mount was omitted from England's provisional squad for the upcoming 2024 European Championship. Mount has endured an injury-riddled season but will have the chance to win silverware when United face Manchester City this weekend. The 25-year-old will be keen to end his woeful personal record at Wembley Stadium, where he has lost all of his major finals played to date. Following an eighth-place finish in the Premier League, United will miss out on European competitions next season unless they emerge victorious against their city rivals. Saturday's clash is the second consecutive Manchester Derby FA Cup final after Man City claimed a 2-1 win en route to a historic treble in last year's edition. Victor Lindelof and Anthony Martial have also returned to training and could be in the squad this weekend. Harry Maguire makes a transfer admission following Man United disappointment. Manchester United defender Harry Maguire has claimed that he knows what happens when the Red Devils miss out on their target for the season. The England international has stated that after their disappointing season, the players will get linked with a move away from the club and some will be possibly sold. In conversation with The Sun, he said the following: "It is what happens when you play for this club. If you don't get good results, players get scrutinized, players get linked with a move away, they got sold, put on the transfer list, and the manager will come under pressure. I have been here 5 years now, so I know what happens." The manager is experienced enough to know it's part and parcel of being at this club. I'm sure he can deal with that. During Ten Hag's first season at the club, Man United had some hopes of progress as they finished third in the Premier League and won the Carabao Cup. However, nothing went their way this season, and their cause was not helped by an injury crisis at the club. Maguire added, "It has been a really disappointing season from where we were a year ago. Everyone will admit that, obviously. We have had a ridiculous number of injuries, a freak number. We have not dealt with it well enough. We should have managed more points than what we did. We have not performed well enough, and our performances should have been better." New Man United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe is ready to make changes at the club, with the squad expected to go through a major overhaul. Benfica have confirmed decision to trigger buy clause in Alvaro Fernandez loan contract. Benfica have confirmed to Manchester United that Alvaro Fernandez will stay at the club after they decided to trigger the buy clause in his loan contract, according to Joao. The 21-year-old left-back spent the first half of the season on loan with the Granada. He was recalled by the Red Devils before he was sent to Portugal. Benfica signed him on a temporary deal with a buy clause worth €6 million plus €3 million in add-ons. Fernandez did not make the required number of appearances for the clause to become mandatory, but Benfica have still decided to secure his services. With his relatively young age and potential, the Primera Liga giants have already informed United that the Spaniard will continue with them permanently. United still have the first refusal option on their club graduate and could resign him if Benfica were to sell. They would have the chance to match any transfer offer. The Red Devils are currently without their left backs Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia with injuries. The former faces a race against time to make the FA Cup final. United have had a tough time coping with their absence. they surprisingly decided to loan out Fernandez in January, despite parting ways with Sergio Reguilon. Reguilon was signed on loan from Tottenham Hotspur last summer, but the hierarchy surprisingly triggered a break clause during the January transfer window. The Red Devils should have delayed the decision over Fernandez's future. The Spaniard should have had the chance to prove his credentials this year. The club is now searching for a new left back this summer. Fernandez could have been their solution if manager Erik Ten Hag had shown more trust in him. Juventus midfielder Adrien Rabiot, aware of Man United's interest in signing him. Juventus midfielder Adrien Rabiot is aware of Manchester United's interest in signing him on a free transfer this summer, according to Corriere dello Sport. The 29-year-old has been a long-term target for the Red Devils, and he came on the cusp of joining them from the Bianconeri in the summer of 2022. Back then, a transfer fee was agreed between the clubs, but a deal did not materialize in the end after United were reluctant to hand him a pay rise. Corriere dello Sport today claim that the Frenchman has yet to make a decision whether to prolong his stay at Juventus beyond June. The Bianconeri want him to sign a 2-year contract at least, such that they can spread his 7.5 million euros annual salary in their financial books. Rabiot is still pondering over his next move. He is currently reflecting and is aware of United's interest in bringing him to the Premier League. Meanwhile, Juventus are aiming to sign Bologna's Thiago Motta as their new manager. It's claimed that his arrival could change Rabiot's stance. The midfielder was a teammate of Motta at Paris Saint-Germain for 5 seasons, and a reunion could persuade him to accept a new deal. Man United very determined to sign Benfica wonderkid Joao Neves. Manchester United are very determined to sign Benfica wonderkid Joao Neves this summer, according to Portuguese publication Record. The Red Devils have been fancy to recruit a new defensive midfielder amid the inconsistent performances of Casemiro this season. Neves is one of the leading names on their wish list, and Record claim that the 19-year-old could be one of those leaving Benfica this summer. It's added that United especially are interested in his services, and they are very determined to bring him to Old Trafford ahead of next season. The teenager currently has a release clause worth 120 million euros in his deal. It appears that Benfica will use it as a reference for negotiations. Neves, who has been described as excellent by Bruno Fernandes, is currently one of the most sought after young midfielders. He has been brilliant from the defensive midfield role this term, with a passing accuracy of 90%. The youngster has also won 6 doubles and 2 tackles per league game, alongside 6.4 ball recoveries. Neves has shown maturity beyond his years, and he would be a statement signing for the Red Devils. However, the big question is whether they can afford his signature during the next transfer window. It has been claimed that the pre-sales budget could be only £35 million after missing out on the Champions League. Most of United's summer business could depend on player sales. The club may not make a huge outlay on Neves. Benfica previously accepted a long-term payment plan for Enzo Fernandez's move to Chelsea. The Red Devils may need something similar to sign Neves, but they will face a lot of competition. Man United to move for a transfer of Premier League star, but only if this important change happens. Manchester United will reportedly move for Everton midfielder Amadou Onana in the summer transfer window if Erik Ten Hag leaves as Red Devils manager. Onana has shown at Goodison Park and looks like he'd be a fine addition for a number of top clubs, but it seems Man United could hinge on what happens with Ten Hag. That's according to Sasha Tavolieri on YouTube, with the journalist explaining that Ten Hag's agency have previously got in the way of signing Onana in the past. Of course, United will surely not just sack a manager to make way for a particular player, but some fans may well feel This is another reason for the club to make a change from the unconvincing Ten Hag, who hasn't lived up to expectations. Ten Hag has not done the best job at United, so one imagines this weekend will be crucial to determining his future as the Red Devils come up against Manchester City in the FA Cup final. It could be time to make a change, whatever this weekend's result is, and fans will hope that can perhaps improve the club's business in the transfer market as well. It's notable that Ten Hag was brought in a few of his former players, such as Anthony, Lisandro Martinez, and Andre Onana. And of those, it's only really Martinez who could be called a success, and he's had a lot of problems with injuries this season. Anthony and Onana have been really poor, so Ten Hag's judgment might not be the best, with Onana showing at Everton that he could be just the kind of signing this United midfield needs. Casemiro and Sufyan Rabiot surely need replacing, and it's hard to think of many better candidates than Onana, who is young but also proven in the Premier League. Man United named as front runners to sign in former Premier League ace. Manchester United are leading the race to sign Crystal Palace winger Michael Olise. The Red Devils have been linked with a move for the Palace star for a long time. With the arrival of Sir Jim Ratcliffe at the club, Man United are expected to make additions to the squad in the transfer window. According to Football Transfers, the Red Devils are in pole position to sign the informed Premier League winger. In just 19 appearances in the league this season, the 22-year-old scored 10 goals and registered 6 assists. His fine form has not gone unnoticed by the biggest clubs in England, with the Football Transfers report mentioning Newcastle United as the other interested club in the player. However, Man United are ahead of Eddie Howe's team to sign the player who helped the Eagles finish in the top half of the Premier League. Since the arrival of manager Oliver Glasner, Ollis has performed consistently for the Premier League club, increasing his output in the final third and developing a ruthless finishing ability. Ollis, who reportedly grew up a Man United fan, is eager to move to Old Trafford, according to the report. Given that his contract from last year contains a release clause of about 70 million euros, it appears that he will leave Selhurst Park soon for a big move this summer. Man United's right wing has been a cause of a huge concern as Anthony has failed to deliver since his big money move from Ajax. The Red Devils are looking to invest in young players who will have a positive long term impact at the club. Olise has shown he can be decisive in the final third, and his brilliant season while playing for Palace was better than all of the Man United wide options currently at the club. The player's decision to prefer a move to Man United would come as a huge blow to Newcastle, who had placed the young winger at the top of their summer priority list. I will be uploading daily Man United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.